It has been over a month since Nashville SC last lost a soccer match, and their club record winning streak on the line again against playoff-hungry Bethlehem. Will it be 5 straight wins tonight in Tennessee? The answer's next from Music City. It is game night for Nashville Soccer Club, and here is the home to the hottest team in the USL Eastern Conference. Welcome to First Tennessee Park on a sweltering, sticky summer evening. The boys in gold on the hunt for a 5th straight win, perhaps even a 5th straight clean sheet to go with it. To do so, they'll have to dispatch the Bethlehem Steel, young, talented, and here to spoil the Nashville party. Before it all begins, let's welcome you up to our broadcast booth here at First Tennessee Park. Glad to have you with us. I'm John Freeman, joined by Ronnie Woodard. And, well, Nashville fighting several things today. A short turnaround after the Wednesday win against Hartford. Heat over 90 degrees today. And also a rash of injuries. How do they overcome it all?
Well, there's definitely a challenge that's going to be posed tonight. 3 games in 7 days. You really get concerned about recovery as a coach. But now we're looking at the depth of the Nashville roster, and that's going to serve them very well moving forward. Getting some players some playing time now, resting some legs, allowing players to recover, is going to gain experience for the playoff run that they're going to have. The biggest challenge they're going to have today is the replacement of Captain Michael Reed. And we're going to see Ken Tribbett step into that role, and I think we're going to see him grow as the year goes on.
We'll have the call today. Down on the field is our Kelly Glendenning.
John, it is a hot one tonight, about 88 degrees to be exact. So when I spoke with head coach Gary Smith before the game, I was sure to ask him about tonight's conditions and how his team would fare in their 3rd match in 8 days. Here's what he said.
Well, this humidity and the weather this time of year doesn't help anyone, that is for sure. The guys have put an awful lot into the 2 games early part of the week. There'll be a couple of changes tonight. That helps with some fresh legs. I think the management and the recovery, the regen has been very good. Stacey Daniels does a great job, as does Sydney Wolf with the guys and just trying to get their legs back to normal. You know, we have the opportunity to exhaust some very interesting and inspirational ways to get the guys back to maybe their best, and hopefully we see that tonight. But it's definitely a tough run.
2 very different schedules between the 2 teams for August. Nashville played last on Wednesday, whereas Bethlehem's last game was 10 days ago on August 1st. John, back to you.
Thank you very much, Kelly. We'll see who Gary Smith trusts tonight in the 2nd match in this building in just 3 days. The boys in gold put their 4-match winning streak on the line next from First Tennessee Park. Lineups and kickoff coming up soon. tributes around the stadium for injured captain Michael Reed, who will be watching and recovering from home tonight. And it goes for everybody on our broadcast crew when we say, get well soon, Captain. Now, for the second time this week, let's take a look at our starting lineups from First Tennessee Park. We'll begin with the home side, who after a brief deviation versus Hartford has reshaped back into its typical 4-2-3-1. Here's the look. Usual super sub Rapapa Mensah starts for just the 6th time this season. Darnell King makes his first start in 5. Once again, though, the focus on the co-leader in the Golden Boot race. It's the striker, Daniel Rios.
Well, Daniel Rios, Nashville's golden child and the front runner to win the Golden Boot. He's composed in the box. He's very dynamic in his movement, and he creates space for clean looks on frame. Look at this. He's the total package. He gets his head up, takes a good look on frame, just complete composure when he's going to goal. In any aspect, we rarely see a Daniel Rios shot off frame because he's just that clinical in his finishing.
Rios, 15 goals this season. He is tied with Solomon Asante of Phoenix Rising. In fact, when you take a look at Daniel Rios' time in the United Soccer League, 52 career USL matches. His longest goal drought in the 2 years he's been in this league is just 3 games. Let's turn our attention to the away side. Bethlehem, 3 alterations from its lineup that fell 3-0 over a week ago to lowly Hartford. Todd Morton makes his 2nd start for the Steel. Zach Zandy, the team's premier playmaker. But out of all the promising young players, perhaps the one with the most upside might be Jamaican Shivani Willis.
So Shivani Willis, number 39, we usually see him playing in the midfield, and he's a box-to-box midfielder. He loves to get stuck in on a tackle, but today we're going to see him up top. And I think we're going to see a little bit different activity from him, and his athleticism is really going to look to challenge the back line of Nashville.
Well, for Nashville Soccer Club, the doubters are dwindling. The points are piling. A 5th straight win tonight, and we fall asleep assured that this shimmering soccer club is by no means fool's gold. Over 6 hours of playing time has passed since a team in this league scored on Nashville. 10 straight goals by the club without a reply. Simply put, the boys in gold are flying. 4 straight cruising altitude wins, 4 straight clean sheets. And tonight in Tennessee, a chance to ascend into new elevations. Away we go from First Tennessee Park. Nashville head to toe in gold, and Bethlehem in their deep blue kits. Temperatures hit over 90 degrees today. And again, Nashville on short rest, having played on Wednesday. And immediately a quick foul and a set piece opportunity for the visitors from Pennsylvania. Man in the middle tonight, Sergei Demianchuk, who's officiated 1 Nashville SC match already this season. Demianchuk presided over the wild 3-3 thriller versus Ottawa Fury in late June, right here at First Tennessee Park. Already, the supporters emptying their lungs. Nashville has elected to attack towards them in the second half. The same half where they scored 4 second-half goals against Hartford on Wednesday night. First involvement for Darnell King, nodded to safety. And it gives us a chance to take a look at our injury report, brought to you by Vanderbilt Health. Michael Reed will be a permanent fixture on it for the rest of the 2019 campaign. The captain underwent successful ankle surgery on Thursday after that horrific injury. While out for the remainder of the season, his recovery time miraculously expected to be just 4 to 6 months. Matt LaGrassa and Cameron Lancaster both listed as questionable. Matt LaGrassa in the 18 tonight, and Cameron Lancaster not. Here's Daniel Rios. Bethlehem with almost exclusive use of the ball here to start this first half. It's Taylor Washington. And now the Loney Jimmy Ockford, borrowed from the San Jose Earthquakes of Major League Soccer. Bolu Akinyoti. Forrest Lasso, on loan from FC Cincinnati, plays simultaneously. Now Darnell King. Just 7 minutes over the last 4 games for King. He's bombarded forward. Nashville into the attacking third now with Ropapa-Mensah. Preparing the service. Comes in first time over the head of Melodo. Tracked down by Belmar. Left for Akinyodi. And now King. Wide again for Mensah. The pass intercepted. And the outbreak begins at the feet of Shivani Willis. Vici Galina in the attack with him. And a slight tug from Ken Tribbett, able to slow down the progress of Bethlehem.
Well, really, the composure of Nashville defensively on that play, that was a break. Ropapa-Mensah had an errant pass into the midfield, played a square ball, landed at the foot of a Bethlehem player who was then sprung for a counter. But Forrest Lasso's ability to drop back, be composed, maintain his shape was tremendous. And then he just stepped in with perfect timing and had a front foot tackle. That was fantastic.
Bethlehem led by Brendan Burke, who was in his mid-20s when Gary Smith won his first game as a manager. Smith now at 100 wins for his career. Burke on the fast track to an MLS job himself, had his name come up for the Colorado Rapids manager position when it was unfilled earlier this year. Nashville, led by their head coach, Gary Smith, collected his 100th career win on Wednesday versus Hartford. He's accumulated those wins at 4 different clubs: the Colorado Rapids, Stevenage in England, the Atlanta Silverbacks, and Nashville SC. 27 of those 100 wins have come right here for this Tennessee club. Ronnie, Bethlehem released 3 player interviews this week. In each of the interview, the players said the same word. The word was compact. What does that mean to a soccer audience, and what have you seen so far in Bethlehem's desire to be, quote, compact?
Well, the number one thing you want to be defensively as an organized unit is compact. And if you want to be able to move together as a unit and keep in tight spaces and make it very difficult for the attacking team to be able to break you down. So what we've seen right now is a relatively high line defensively from Bethlehem and a low line defensively from Bethlehem, which means that they're not starting really to defend until about the center circle, but their back part of their line is at the bottom part of the circle too. So you're looking at really about a 20 to 25 yard space that they're defending in right now, which is not very big and a little bit dangerous and leaves them suspect to counterattacks unless they read service well.
Bethlehem team that was conference semifinalist last season. Just 3 players from that roster still on USL contracts. A lot of turnover over the offseason with this club that is affiliated with the Philadelphia Union. Ball shipped towards Ropapa-Mensah. Now Tribbett headed wide for King, who's ventured into the attacking third, combining with Melodo. Lovely chipped pass for King. The service comes in. It's loose right on top. And the ball crossed the inline. It will be a goal kick for Bethlehem. Hey fans, keep up to date with us all season long. Follow our journey to Major League Soccer at NashvilleSC.com.
So it's a lovely little combination play from Lebo. Lebo plays a perfectly weighted ball in. Darnell just kind of loses his footing just a bit on that side. Very close, but he did manage to get his hips around and put it into a dangerous space.
Soaring header won by Tribbett.
So what we've seen so far in the short 6.5 minutes of this game is Ken Tribbett being an absolute monster in the center of the midfield defensively. He's done a really good job of winning those balls that are in the air.
Forrest Lasso was undercut. So much size on this Nashville roster. When the teams lined up for the national anthem, side by side, you could see the drastic difference. And this is a Bethlehem team where the average age on this roster is just 19 years old.
Well, you could see it in their face. You know, they're youthful players. The talent on the field is very immense, though.
Ropapa-Mensah trialing the right back Cortez. The attack expands the far sideline, Tribbett. Taylor Washington. Intervention comes from Ockford. Maneuvering forward is King. Lebo Meloto leads the USL Eastern Conference with 8 assists. Connection with Darnell King fractured by the captain, James Chambers. A grown man amongst boys. Chambers, 32 years old. The next oldest starter on this Bethlehem roster is Zach Zandy at 23. Bethlehem, its first real chance here, and a save by Pickens as Zandy was crashing in. Nashville, 4 straight clean sheets. Came in tonight on a 376-minute shutout streak. Jeopardized there. The shot from Zach Zandy. Take a look, really a tale of two sides. Bethlehem struggling for playoff positioning just to get above that dividing line. Nashville with top of the table hopes. Still chasing New York Red Bulls 2, who downed Hartford today in a wild contest. Hartford finished with 9 players. Double red cards simultaneously.
That's a rough day.
One for a tackle and the following one for dissent.
Wow.
When they were up 1-0.
Sounds like a retaliation.
Touched head to the arm of the referee.
Oh.
Certainly didn't help.
No.
Hartford, who is still struggling to keep the ball out of the net. Nashville dropped 4 on them on Wednesday night.
Yeah, they've not had a good week.
Nashville is running through teams at the bottom of the table. 9 wins in 10 games against teams in the bottom 8 of the standings. Another opportunity to further that statistic tonight against struggling Bethlehem, who has 6 wins this season. Still outside of playoff position. Has actually played a few more games than teams that are above them in close proximity in the table.
It's a great touch by Darnell King.
Mensah powering past Cortez. He's won the throw-in deep in the attacking end.
Lasso's ability to serve that 50-yard ball on a dime is going to be really valuable today, and that's going to be able to spring Darnell King going forward to be able to combine with Ropapa Mensah.
It's thrown in toward Mensah. Into a good area. And Carlton Belmar can't beat the ball to the sideline. Already Ropapa Mensah making inroads. Doesn't start many matches, just his 6th start this season. However, in his last 4, Nashville scored 12 goals in his last 4 starts. Also remember, Cameron Lancaster still stuck idling with an injury. He's listed as questionable tonight, does not make the game day 18.
You know, we talked about it a little bit in the pregame about how challenging injuries can be throughout a season, but how valuable they can be for the development of the team as they continue to play. Through the stretch of games in August and September, the opportunity to play more players in different types of roles is only going to strengthen this group as Nashville goes towards a playoff bid.
There's the Nashville bench. Matt LaGrassa to the far right. Back in the 18 after being injured against Louisville in early July. That was the last time Nashville lost a soccer match.
Good to see him back on the bench. It is a little different to see Kosuke Kimura sitting next to him, though, right? A mainstay in our starting lineup, getting to rest his legs a bit tonight.
Kimura at 35 years old gives way for Darnell King to make the start at right back tonight, and King called into duty. Matt Rial backwards for Cortez. Hoist in the service in the direction of the Jamaican Shivani Willis. Traced down by Taylor Washington. And now King. Akinyoti. Washington. Lasso. The center back pairing, Lasso and Jimmy Ockford, have not allowed a goal in Nashville Gold. Melodo dancing past Fontana. Rios back for Melodo into a wide area. Washington neglected to make the forward run.
Just a pass off early in the match. Nashville's had a spell of 2 or 3 passes in a row, and then they've given the ball away. Just not quite on the same page offensively. Defensively, they're doing fine. They're maintaining possession, switching the point of attack. They don't really have any pressure on them. Lasso and Ockford have absolutely no pressure on them defensively, so they're turning into playmakers.
Downloaded in the penalty area by Rios. Melodo and Mensah in the area. Akinyoti, touch too far for Belmar. And Ken Tribbett, a hefty challenge right into line of sight of Sergei Demianchuk. The Bethlehem coach Brendan Burke, some of the Bethlehem players certainly campaigning for a yellow card. Anthony Fontana was the player down. You wonder if it wasn't the 15th minute, would Sergei Demianchuk have reached into his pocket?
I think Tribbett's been warned. You know, I think he just had his conversation, and now he knows that the next hefty tackle like that could end up in a booking.
Well, they found Rial in a good spot. The intervention from Forrest Lasso. Hey fans, see the latest team content on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at our handle, Nashville SC. Taken away in the midfield by Ropapa Mensah. And now Lebo Melodo attacking away from the wall of noise from the supporters. Tribbett. Melodo hauled down, set piece for Nashville in the attacking third.
Well, this will prove to be a dangerous opportunity for Nashville. With the size differential between Nashville and Bethlehem, any ball that's served into the box is going to be challenging for the Bethlehem defense. It's a good little battle. Lebo gets a good turn. He's got his jersey, pulls him to the ground. Quality call by the referee, but I really like the instinct of Lebo Melodo to keep fighting to get through that, but he definitely had his jersey tugged.
Massive center backs Forrest Lasso and Jimmy Ockford. Interested parties in the area, as is Ken Tribbett. Scored the first goal off of a set piece against Hartford on Wednesday night. It's taken by Washington and halted by the referee.
Putting his foot down. There must have been some activity off the ball that got a little physical.
It's Taylor Washington's delivery again. Lasso down. No appeals.
No.
From Nashville's on-loan player.
No, I think they just got tangled up, got their legs tangled up on the back post. Those are two big bodies hitting the ground, though. Chambers and Lasso.
Chambers, one of the more interesting characters in the USL. One just by way of his employment. A 32-year-old Irishman playing on essentially an MLS development team with a bunch of teenagers.
Right. He's the father figure on the team, I would assume. But also, his aspirations, if he was not a soccer player, was to be a professional chef. So if he could be anything, he would be a professional chef. I find that very Renaissance man-esque. Athlete, cook, father figure. He's the whole package for Bethlehem, sitting right there in the midfield.
Gary Smith did say that if they could supply or cut the supply line to Chambers, that Bethlehem would be, quote, rudderless. That was part of his game plan. Trim it. Mensah overlapping his King. Ghanaian turning inward. He's through two meaty challenges and last touched by Nashville SC. Papa Mensah broke a streak of 5 straight matches without a goal on Wednesday versus Hartford. Scored the 4th goal, all coming in that second half. Nashville a chance for its first here. Astute defending from Zach Zandy. Launching for Galena. Carried out by Darnell King. Fans, get Nashville SC updates and alerts all year long by clicking follow on ESPN.com. 21st minute from First Tennessee Park. Not many chances here early. Nashville team that has scored 10 straight goals without an answer from anyone in the USL.
Nothing overly striking about the game so far tonight. I would say the first 20 minutes are about what we would expect. 3 games in 7 days, lacking a little punch, playing with some new players into the lineup today. The addition of Papa Mensah to begin the match. Darnell King as an outside back, and then Ken Tribbett in the midfield. You know, it changes the dynamic of how a team starts off and plays. And it's going to take them a little while to warm up within this match.
Do also know Bethlehem is a team that likes to warm into games. In fact, the Steel have not scored a first 15-minute goal all season through 3 games.
Well, if they begin every match with the low restraining line that they're playing with now, I could see that. You know, they're very conservative in their defensive shape right now. They're very compact. They have a very high line, which if Nashville could get their head up and utilize the opportunity to be able to serve that ball in and catch Rios bending and getting in on that back line, I think they're going to be able to spring and keep that back line honest. Right now, they're able to keep a high restraining line, and Nashville is really just having to keep the ball moving, and their movement of the ball isn't quick enough right now. It's got to be faster. It's deliberate, but it has to be a little bit faster because they're not pulling one out in the pocket, and there was that run. Unfortunately, he was on his back foot, but they found it right there. They went laterally, looked up, found the feet of Daniel Rios, and compromised the shape of Bethlehem. That's exactly what Nashville needs to do.
So you're saying the boys in gold need to bypass the midfield, go directly from the center backs to the forwards?
I think they can. I think there's a lot of players that are sitting in front of them, but I also think that what they need to do is get their backs involved into the attack and add them into the midfield, really, and have them join into the attack so they can spring Lebo Maloto a little bit higher, put Belmar a little bit higher, bring Papa Mensah higher, thus adding more numbers into the attack. But then it's going to get Washington and King higher into the attack too, because you're really playing with two true number 6s. we've got Ken Tribbett playing as a holding player, and you've got Bolu Akinyodi playing as a holding player, and then directly behind them, you have Forrest Lasso and Ockford. All four of them are concrete, connect-the-dots type of players. So that's going to allow us to have a lot of flank play from Nashville. If they can just get the ball wide and combine, I think they're going to have great opportunities.
Well, here you go. Wide to Taylor Washington. Belmar in front of him, likes to go inward. Washington under pressure. Ockford is the pivot point, and now King. Another strong touch from Ropampa-Mensah. Bethlehem a chance to counter. Galena bothering Forrest Lasso. Recovering was King. Switching the point of attack is Chambers. Now Issa Rayon. Willis touching for Zandy. Still Zach Zandy. It's a drive, and what a save by Matt Pickens. A soaring save from the goalkeeper. Preserving the clean sheet streak with acrobatics in Tennessee.
Well, look at Zandy's shot. Cuts onto that left foot, finds a little window. Lasso doesn't step tight enough defensively and hits it upper 90. Fantastic save by Matt Pickens. Absolutely phenomenal. Top hand save, upper 90. Great strike by Zandy. Little bit of a defensive lapse by Nashville. Taylor Washington allowed him to chop into the inside, and the cover didn't step as that second defender.
And with that save, Nashville has now gone 400 minutes without conceding a goal. Had that gone in, that would have stopped the clock right at 3:99. As a club record. If they go a few more minutes, it'll be a club record by over 100 minutes.
Yeah, that's why the fans love Matt Pickens. He's reliable, he's consistent, he's solid, and he has the ability to make a big-time save like that.
Already made 2 saves tonight. That's just as many as the last 2 matches combined. Had to make 2 really pedestrian saves against Hartford, none against Swope Park. Just speaks to the way that the defense has been playing in front of him. Called into action early tonight. It's Bethlehem, probably with the best look, well, certainly the best look of the game. Zach Zandy has the only 2 shots on target. Anybody on the field? Rios wanted that ball played quicker by Mensah.
And I would agree with him. He found the right channel. He looked to combine. He could have turned the corner there. I would have liked to have seen that ball come into him quicker. So what we're seeing right now is just the difference in style, and not to draw too much attention to the missing Captain Reed, but he plays as an 8, which is a true central midfielder, which is a box-to-box midfielder. And Bolu Akinyodi plays as a 6, which is a holding player. And right now we bring Ken Tribbett into the mix, and he's kind of a 6 and a holding player too. So that's we're missing that 8, who is LaGrassa or Reed, that are both out injured right now. And so Lebo's going to have to come in and get a little bit more of that ball on his feet and help create a bit more than what he's doing right now. He's not going to be allowed to stay as high as he is, because there's a big gap in between Tribbett, Bolu, and Lebo Moloto.
And once again, forcing Ropampa-Mensah to go backwards with the ball.
Which is a great game plan for Bethlehem. You know, keep Nashville as far away from goal as you can by allowing them to play back into their 2 center backs and into their 2 number 6s that are holding right there in the midfield. It's not dangerous.
Finding a pocket of space is King. Ropampa. Akinyodi. Moloto. See if he can start something. Galloping forward with Washington to his left. It's Moloto weaving through towards Rios. It falls for Ken Tribbett. Laid off. Shot slammed off a defender. Carlton Belmar. Jimmy Ockford in a foot race with the speedy Michi Galena, 19-year-old Congolese forward. Unable able to get around Jimmy Ockford.
Well, a little gamesmanship by Ockford, too. Had a little bit of a tug on him. Got Galena off balance as he was threatening in to put pressure on Pickens on that back pass.
Frustrated young winger, Papa Mensah.
So now I get to take a chance to say hello to Joni and Todd Reed, Michael Reed's family, that are home watching in Nashville with Michael as he's recovering from his surgery. Sad to not see them at the game. We know they watch every game on TV, but I had to take a minute to tell them a big hello from the Nashville Soccer Club broadcast booth.
Certainly pulling for our captain, Michael Reed. Wish him all the best in his recovery. And Gary Smith told us his injury and the way that he has acted since it is an inspiration for this team. Once they got over just being shell-shocked in the first half versus Hartford, got into halftime, emotionally and mentally coped with the injury, then they played an inspired second half. Gary Smith thinks that it can power this team forward, that their captain is not yet done leading this team.
Of course not, and he'll return to the sideline once he's a little bit more able, coming off the surgery this week, and a significant surgery. He's got to have a little bit of time to recover. But I feel very confident he's going to be showing up at games, and he's going to have a different type of leadership role, but it could be a very powerful role. And it could be exactly what this Nashville team needs.
Nashville switched its wingers now. The cross comes in from Belmar. Is over the inline. First time they've been able to develop a shipping lane to Daniel Rios. So Nashville switching its wingers. There's the man in the middle of the two wingers, Daniel Rios, the lone forward. But Carlton Belmar has now moved to the right of the formation, and Ropapa Mensah has moved to the left. Why would they do that, Ronnie?
Well, and I think that Alan Wynn's not in the game, and Alan Wynn is very comfortable on his left foot, but neither Belmar nor Ropapa are overly comfortable on their left foot. They really prefer to have the ball on their right going at people. So I think this is, Gary did this a couple of weeks ago when they were playing at Nissan, and he just switched Belmar and Wynn. Brilliant coaching move. However, when we asked him if he did it on purpose, he said, nope, just looking for a different look. So I think that could be part of it, but I also think right now the right side of the pitch has been dominant. And I think that that's part of what Coach Smith's idea is let's go get the ball to Belmar and see if he can create something on that right flank.
Nashville now exposed on that far side. It's partially deflected and watched by Matt Pickett in front of the trajectory of Mitchie Galena. And Major League Soccer is almost here. Season tickets are now available. Ticket packages start at just $25 a match, and payment plans are available. To purchase your 2020 MLS season tickets, visit NashvilleSC.com. We now churn into the 32nd minute. Nashville without a shot on target here in this first half. And frustrated by a compact and resolute Bethlehem 11. Oh, neatly done by Carlton Belmar. It's essentially going to be a corner kick for Nashville.
It's good gamesmanship by Belmar. He's in the corner. It's really an unnecessary foul.
It's from Matt Rial.
Rial's in the corner. Belmar's got nowhere to go. He's facing backwards. It's just a little bit of a late tackle. He uses his body. Doesn't allow Belmar the opportunity to get around it, but it has great gamesmanship from Belmar. It's probably adding a little theatrics to it at that point, but this is a very good opportunity for Nashville. Again, the set piece and the dangerous ability of Lasso and Bolu.
There's 6'6" Forrest Lasso standing right in front of the goalkeeper, Todd Morton. Taken by Lebo Maloto. Rising was Ropapa. Claiming it came off of a Bethlehem defender. Sergei Demianchuk unimpressed. Will be a goal kick for the visitors. Todd Morton had a momentary idea. He's going to spring the counterattack. I don't know if that's necessarily in the game plan, a team that, by some players' admissions, his included, said, we're coming for a point. He did an interview, he said it'd be great if we could pick up a point.
Right, and just to remind the listeners, a point is a tie. 3 points is a win. So being on the road and trying to steal a point here is, at this point, 32.5 minutes into the match. Bethlehem seems to be keeping their game plan intact.
Issa Rayon barting his way through. He's drawn a crowd of 2 gold jerseys, extracted by Tribbett. Melodo steps right by Chambers, ignites the counterattack, has Mensah to his left. Rios recycles his run. Ropapa cuts it to his left, squares it back in front. It's off the side netting. Will be a Coca-Cola corner kick for Nashville. James Chambers wanted to call in the midfield. Ropapa Mensah wants a handball. Let's take a look at the handball first.
I like that last chop over there. Showed a little bit of a lack of experience in the backside Cortez defending on Ropapa, and Ropapa just faced him up, saw some youth, chopped on him, and took that ball in.
Nothing there with the handball, right?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that's hopeful.
It is the Coca-Cola corner kick for Nashville as they inch closer to a breakthrough in the 35th minute. Hoisted in, eagerly greeted by Lasso. Important header and a brave one from Belmar. Send it back into traffic. Belmar now chasing, and Bethlehem has sprung a counterattack the other way. Zach Zandy. Blue jerseys flooding forward. Sturdy, important challenge from Forrest Lasso.
Oh, what a great tackle that was from Forrest Lasso. Now, if Nashville could just play quicker.
Game opening up here at First Tennessee Park. The Bethlehem players still down behind the play. It was a full-blooded challenge from Lasso. The player down is Matt Rial. 20-year-old who hasn't been subbed out of a match all year through 15 games.
He's obviously in pain. Nope, doesn't need the trainer.
The reason why he's waving off the trainer is because if the trainer comes out, then Rial is forced to exit the field.
And they're coming anyway. Appears they had a change of heart. Yeah, he's struggling.
Reminder that all injury assistance provided by Vanderbilt Health.
Looks like he might be able to walk it off and then re-enter the match after they give him a good check. They can wave him in. Yeah, he's fine.
Got the replays of the tackle. Came in from Forrest Lasso. There was plenty of sandpaper in it.
It's a great tackle by Lasso. But his cleats are showing. He got him about at the foot height. But what a lovely timing. And the fact that that 6'6" giant Lasso can go to ground and get up so quickly is just a testament to his athleticism. But it's good to see Rial up. He'll be entering the game soon.
Bethlehem only has 4 substitutes in this match that play a field position. Axel Picasso, Schneider Borgelin, Ferris, and Selmir Misic. None of them are true defenders. That's it. There's the goalkeeper as well, Lucas Burns. There's one player off camera.
Look at the youth on that sideline, though. I mean, you're getting a great look at it right now. Those are your young future stars of soccer. It's really exciting to be able to watch them play at this level and watch them compete and just see the talent level that these young kids have.
Well, fans follow Nashville SC and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, and more. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com.
I suspect, much like we saw in the second half of the Hartford game, I suspect we may see a change in formation from Gary Smith unless he gets some better activity from all of his flank players.
It's a searching ball from Lasso. past a puzzled Carlton Belmar. Any thoughts on coach's words?
Besides, they're always colorful.
Aerial duel won by Lasso. Second ball won by Belmar. Third by Chambers of Bethlehem. Finally brought to the floor by Rios.
So that's the other issue of what's going on in the game. The leading goal scorer for Nashville and in the USL in the Eastern Conference has barely touched the ball. Rios has had zero activity. The balls have not been at his feet. He hasn't been able to free himself with any of his movement to get in behind the Bethlehem defense. It's a testament to the quality of defending from Bethlehem. But I think Nashville needs to do a better job of keeping the ball movement quicker so that they can find those pockets and they can have better movement off the ball. They're just stagnant up top right now. If you look, the only people that are moving are the flank players. The rest of them are just standing in a straight line, and there's just not a lot of options for the backs to be able to play into.
Minute. Nashville still looking for its first shot on target. Trivet whistled for the foul. Sergei Demianchuk has officiated 2 matches that involved one of these 2 teams. Both of the times, the opponent was Ottawa. Nashville won the 3-3 game in which he officiated. Bethlehem lost against Ottawa by 3 goals. Hey, soccer fans, get your official Nashville SC gear, including MLS styles, online at nashvillesc.com. Nashville will be looking around the scores in the USL Eastern Conference. Everyone's chasing Tampa Bay, who's at the top of the table. Tampa Bay right now at home, trailing Birmingham 1-0. Birmingham, if they were to keep a clean sheet in that match, would actually have 5 straight. So the American South is now the soccer capital of defending, as Nashville with 4 straight clean sheets and working on 5 for itself. Here's Darnell King into the attacking third. Tribbett. Melodo sinking back to amplify the attack. Belmar. King. Nashville building triangles. Rios sending Galena on his way, and Matt Pickens exploring the limits of the penalty area.
Great beginning pass out by Matt Pickens, but then Nashville's gone backwards again. Here we go. Find the feet of Lebo Melodo, and then how can they unbalance that defense? Nashville's movement off the ball has to be better, has to be more precise, it has to find pockets, the ball movement has to be faster.
Belmar auditioning Rios, and he's earned the Coca-Cola corner kick. Well, 40% of the goals last year in the USL Championship were scored off of set pieces on a night where there hasn't been much magic in the air for the boys in gold. Will one of their big targets convert? There's one of them, Forrest Lasso. This is a hulking, towering Nashville Soccer Club team. It'll be Taylor Washington's delivery. Ladled back post. Trying to be redirected by Forrest Lasso across the frame of the goal, but unsuccessfully.
Yeah, and I think it may have been overhit a little bit by Taylor Washington on that back post, because Forrest Lasso had to redistribute his weight and come back to try and get that ball and recenter it back into the goal. So I think it was a little heavy on what the initial thought on where that ball was supposed to be delivered. Or Forrest Lasso was way too early on his run. It could one of the two.
Here's Rios, been contained so far. If he scores tonight, he will, at least for a few minutes, be guaranteed the top spot all by himself in the USL Golden Boot standings. Solomon Asante of Phoenix, who is tied with him right now at 15 goals this season, does not kick off until 9:30 Central Time against El Paso. Melodo. Oh, a no-look pass to Kintribbett.
Cheeky little touch by Lebo.
Now he sent Darnell King wide. The service leaving much to be desired.
Final ball delivery, been a bit of an issue tonight. And even the final pass into the final third has been not weighted properly. It's either been under hit and into the last line of defense by Bethlehem, or it's been over hit and it's gone right out of bounds. Either way, a challenging night so far for Nashville in the final third.
There's the Golden Boot watch. Only Rios and Guinzotti currently on a soccer pitch right now. Sebastian Guinzotti at 12 and right now stuck at 12 in that battle against Birmingham, which the Rowdies trail 1-0. A major opportunity for Nashville tonight to claw and inch their way back towards the top of the table. Now Sergei Demianchuk noticed something on that contested ball, and he's whistled a free kick here for Bethlehem in the attacking end. Not a team that views it as a scoring opportunity. Instead, they elect to quickly restart play. Anthony Fontana already played 99 minutes of Major League Soccer action this season. All 6 of his matches in MLS coming in May. As the Philadelphia Union were dealing with a couple players in Gold Cup duty. Once that summer tournament expired, and it was Fontana who came back down to Bethlehem.
Great head bob at Jimmy Awkward.
Looking at almost 9 consecutive halves without conceding a goal for Nashville SC. Taylor Washington, ambitious slide. A Bethlehem player down as a result of it. To Issa Rayon, who is down. You like this, Ronnie? ACC Freshman of the Year 2 years ago at Duke.
That's right. My Blue Devils.
So you share that in common?
We should immediately trade and bring him to Nashville. Just go ahead and make that happen.
Don't think Nashville's MLS team is going to be stocked with primarily Duke grads.
I mean,
as much as you
as
would
much
love
as
for it
I
to
would
be.
like it.
Spent 1 year at Duke before leaving.
Well, Duke just lost one of their incoming freshmen in Cam Duke, who decided to sign an MLS contract with Sporting Kansas City and did not attend Duke this fall. Just happened week before preseason started. He decided to take his MLS option instead.
The constant debate of talent development and college soccer's role in it. Here's Darnell King, who did his college soccer in Florida. Carlton Belmar, who played it at VCU in Richmond, Virginia. That'll be it for the first half. Well, the shutout streak continues for Nashville SC. Now over 400 minutes of playing time elapsed without Nashville Soccer Club conceding a goal. The problem is, they have not put a single shot on the goal of that man, Todd Morton, who's had a very quiet night. Gary Smith and his team 3 matches now in 8 days. Heavy legs on a hot night in Nashville. Can the supporters will them to another 3 points? As the boys in gold seeking out their 5th straight win, their 5th straight clean sheet in Bethlehem, offering quite the resistance here at First Tennessee Park. Just one Matt Pickens save in the first half was our true highlight. Other than that, Nashville trying to solve this Bethlehem defense. So far, cannot find a way through. Daniel Rios, relatively quiet. The center backs of Jimmy Ockford and Forrest Lasso have been demonstrative as always. Zach Zandy, the 2 shots on goal for Bethlehem, but none of them getting past Matt Pickens, and it leads us to our halftime presented by Nissan. Scoreless at First Tennessee Park.
Todos son bienvenidos, todos son bienvenidos.
Welcome to Halftime presented by Nissan. In Nashville and all across the world, soccer is family. 2 supporters here have taken their passion and have really found a home with the club, and they look forward to its bright future. Here's more.
Todos son bienvenidos, todos son bienvenidos. Todas las ciudades, de todo Centroamérica, Suramérica.
A echarle porras a nuestro equipo. Es muy importante que todos nos unamos como familia.
Somos una familia entera, queremos que vengan, ustedes se sientan cómodos. Todos son bienvenidos.
El fútbol es una familia.
Football, it is a family, and we want everybody to feel welcome. We're reaching out to all the fan base to come out, help us support, be a part of this family, this growing family, and you're all more than welcome. We wanted to grow with our son and our grandson. For him now, he's learning the game, and that's a beautiful thing for us, that he's learning the game. We want to share that experience with him. We want to share that excitement with him. You feel like you're in unison. You know, everybody's in unison with the same feeling and emotion, that passion for the game. So it's not so much just the cheers and chants and everything, but the game itself that brings us all together. Nosotros sabemos la pasión que tiene la raza latina al fútbol. Nosotros sabemos que ese es el juego de nosotros.
Siempre vamos a estar ahí y todos unidos podemos hacer todo esto más grande.
Siempre bien recibidos, con los brazos abiertos. Siéntase cómodo en venirnos de nosotros en apoyar a nuestro equipo, porque ese equipo de Nashville es equipo de todos nosotros.
Soy Gaby.
And I'm Abel.
Y todos somos Nashville Soccer Club.
Stay tuned for more Nissan Halftime.
A gorgeous sunset over Middle Tennessee. The question is, when the sun comes back up, will Nashville SC have extended its winning streak? Right now, the winning streak at 4. They look for their 5th consecutive win tonight over the Bethlehem Steel. But right now, our halftime presented by Nissan, it is 0-0 as we welcome you back to First Tennessee Park. John Freeman, joined by Ronnie Woodard. Let's take a look at the first half stats in this one. And the big one, no shots on target for Nashville SC. One of the reasons why, Daniel Rios for Nashville, the player who is tied for first in the USL Golden Boot standings, out of every player on Nashville SC's roster that plays an outfield position, so excluding the goalkeeper Matt Pickens, Daniel Rios has the least amount of touches with just 19 total touches.
Well, and that's part of Bethlehem's game plan. That's why they talked about it so much in the pregame. Stay compact, because then they didn't leave pockets of space for Daniel Rios to be able to get that ball with his back to goal, and then him combined with Lebo Moloto to create an overload and for him to get into goal to face the shot on net. But another thing, look at the total passes. Nashville has 305. And Bethlehem still has 150, and it's still 0-0. So Nashville has the lion's share of the possession, but it's all in the midfield, and it's always sideways back. And so how are they going to be able to fix that final ball to be able to create better goal-scoring looks on frame?
And now on the other end of the coin, Shivani Willis, who we highlighted as the player to watch for Bethlehem, just 9 total touches compared to Daniel Rios' 19. Take a look at the standings. This is a live table, so if our game were to end right now, Nashville would get a point. They'd move up to 42 points. It's a big night for Nashville SC, a major opportunity. Here's why. Birmingham on the road at what was coming into today, top of the table Tampa Bay. Birmingham leading that game 1-0. And then also Memphis at home has taken an early lead over North Carolina. Pittsburgh did hold on for a 3-2 win over Swope Park, and New York Red Bulls 2-1 in a rout earlier today. But nevertheless, a chance to take points from Tampa Bay and also North Carolina tonight for Nashville SC. Here is the upcoming schedule, and you can see some landmines coming up in it. New York Red Bulls 2 and Tampa Bay in the top 2 in the league. However, if Nashville can get a win tonight, they could set themselves up to be top of the table within a week.
Well, and that's the goal. It's moving time in the USL right now. It's time for all of these teams to start getting in, jockeying for position, 1, 2, and 3, getting it solid, making sure you're beating the teams that are below you, and then you're hoping that someone else is going to drop a game or drop 3 points that they don't need to.
Apologize, a week and a half before Nashville could potentially be top of the table if tonight's results perhaps change, or in Nashville's case, they get a goal to go ahead. Can they do it against the Bethlehem Steel? We'll look at our first half highlights and talk about the second half when we come back.
All right, soccer fans, I'm meteorologist Justin Chambers. Hopefully you're enjoying the game. And as you drive home tonight, we'll see those temperatures drop into the lower 70s. Not much. Definitely clear skies. And we'll see temperatures that will stay mild. We'll be a bit warmer as we head into your Sunday, but still not looking for much in the way of showers or thunderstorms. We'll have the drier conditions, even though that heat and humidity will be around with us. Not looking for rain, not until we get into the early part of next week. So make sure to be safe tonight. Enjoy the rest of the game. And go NSC.
The Heat certainly catching up to the Nashville SC players. A pretty groggy first half here at First Tennessee Park on a blazing hot summer night as we welcome you up to our broadcast booth. John Freeman and Ronnie Woodard. Nashville did not get a shot on goal in the first half. Let's go ahead and take a look at our first half highlights. This won't take very long. Matt Pickens made a spectacular save, but other than that, not a lot of opportunities around the pitch tonight.
Yeah, kind of a dry half, but as you see right here, it's the very first shot of the game. Matt Pickens cleans it up nice and safely. Xander had a good look on frame. This is the one that you really like. So Zandy gets touched, chops back to his left, cover doesn't come over. Matt Pickens, top hand, upper 90s save. Absolutely world-class finish.
So Nashville still doesn't have a shot on target, but they had a couple forays forward. These were some of the best looks, but again, no one there to slam the ball home. And Ronnie, you've been talking about what you want Nashville to do. You want them to get down the sides and then send in some dangerous services.
Yeah, I'd like to see some overloads on the flank. I'd like to see Daniel Rios have a better combination possibly with Melodo, and to be able to create pockets to get and free him so that he has a better look on frame. I do think that the substitution of Alan Wynn is a really good move by Coach Smith. I think it's going to be interesting to see if we have a formation change at all, or if we just have Alan Wynn coming straight up.
So there's one new face in that Nashville SC huddle. It was that of Alan Wynn. He will replace Carlton Belmar. There is Wynn. They wanted him to continue his hot ways here in Nashville. It's really come on in these last 4 games, but so much mileage accumulated. He's such a high octane player. Figured it was best that he would come off the bench tonight. And thus the 23-year-old Texan inserted with the intention of injecting some pace and promise into these Nashville maneuvers forward. Alan Wynn, 3 goals, 2 assists this year.
Well, I'm a big fan on the impact that Alan Wynn makes in the game. I think that his explosiveness and his pace is something that every team has to respect. But I also think that he's got a great bag of tricks that he can take a defender 1 versus 1. If I have one thing that I would like to empower him to do, is if he gets free looks on frame, I'd like to see him go ahead and take those shots and finish it.
Here's Ropapa-Mensah heading into the path of Rios and scuffed the shot. Will most likely go down as Nashville SC's first shot on target.
I was going to say, can we count that as on target?
Now, meanwhile, Bethlehem has also made a substitution. Michi Galina, the Congolese midfielder, his night is done, and in his place, a 19-year-old Cameroonian, goes by one name, Ferris. He's missed 2 straight games with a hamstring injury, brings his team-leading 6 goals this season into the match. And we talked to Gary Smith this week. He said the one player that scares him the most is Ferris, and he's immediately turned right past Forrest Lasso. And Ferris making his introduction known. 19 years old. Speedy, hulking, creative player. Gave Nashville fits.
Wide-bodied. Look at the size of his span of his shoulders. He is going to be a handful for Hockford and Lasso to deal with.
Matt Rial standing over the free kick, as is the captain, James Chambers. It's Chambers to ignite the counterattack to an isolated Daniel Rios.
A great ball by Matt Pickens.
Oh, how neatly done that is by Rios. Grappling and losing out to Steve Kinge. Rios just 19 total touches in the first half. Player who has scored in 5 straight games. Ropapa. The return pass comes from Tribbett. Mensah's cross. It's towards Alan Wynn. Could not keep this in bounds. Already starting to see some pace in the legs of 19 in goal. Gary Smith told us when talking about Alan Wynn, in this 4-2-3-1 that Nashville is playing, in which he's got that freedom to get down the sides, he said, quote, "There's no one better in this shape in this league."
I would agree. I've seen very few flank players that have been more effective than Alan Wynn.
That if he had a 4-2-3-1 and had the pick of everybody in the USL, he would choose Alan Wynn as his right wing. Rial. Willis. Zandy laying it off. Chambers chipped in. Important defending from Ockford. And pushed in the back was King. And for as much as we've talked about Daniel Rios being bottled up, Shivani Willis, we can say the same. Player who scored twice versus Lou City earlier this year.
Well, that was a must-win ball by Jimmy Ockford. That was incredibly dangerous, a well-textured ball that was placed in behind by Chambers. And And Ockford did everything he could to just get a little touch on that ball and disrupt that attack. Good bout of defending.
Washington gallivanting forward. Launch behind Rios.
Square ball top of the 18 is just leaving you for a counterattack.
Mensah getting stuck in on the challenge. Akinyoti. Melodo. And Rios hobbling and drawing the whistle of Sergei Demianchuk. While they take the set piece and prepare it, let's go ahead and send it down to the sidelines. Our Kelly Glendenning.
So guys, with the stats tonight so far in the first half, distance covered the most has been by Ken Tribbett there in the center of the field. Sprints, Darnell King has done the most sprints as an outside back. And then the fastest to clock in, 21.3 miles per hour for Taylor Washington. But the one I want to point out is Ken Tribbett. He's really stepped into his role after Michael Reed was injured on Wednesday and has shown that he is ready to be in the game. And of course, covering that distance, he's a workhorse and getting his minutes in. John?
Thank you, Kelly. All those stats tracked by accelerometers and GPS devices placed on the shoulders of the players and communicated to a tablet on the sideline and then communicated to our Kelly Glendenning. So here's Lebo Melodo standing over Jimmy Ockford and Forrest Lasso to the left of the South African. Bethlehem holding a high line. Cortez, the Costa Rican, and Bolu Akinyoti. It's Lebo Melodo. Oh, he's going for it. 2 feet on the ground for Ton Morton. Comfortable save in the end. Making the stop on the Select ball. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Rayon drawing the slide of Washington. King. He's won the throw-in for Nashville. Here's a look at the Melodo free kick.
It's a nice little bent ball. Actually, I think that might have snuck right in. Morton had it covered safely. I don't think they had quite enough pace on it from Lebo, but the bend on the ball was quality. And the location of where he was striking was very good, but I don't think he had enough pace on it to really threaten goal.
Nashville must be mindful of the speed and the power and the creativity of Ferris, the young Cameroonian who's been brought in at halftime. And keep in mind, Nashville on just 3 days rest, Bethlehem on 10. Major opportunity for Nashville SC tonight. Top of the table, Tampa Bay still trailing Birmingham in the 85th minute, 1-0. That's a home game for the Rowdies.
It's a great point on the road right now, and possibly 3 for Birmingham.
Reclaimed by Darnell King.
Great.
It's the return pass from Melodo. Look at James Chambers tracking all the way back from his midfield position. And he's drawn the foul. Captain's work from Chambers. And further admonishment from Sergei Demianchuk. It's Gary Smith, who was the mastermind behind the comeback, or excuse me, the big second half against Hartford. Went into the halftime 0-0, came out in a different formation, a 3-5-2.
He did.
Banged home 4 goals quite easily. Could have had more as well.
He didn't choose to make the change today in the formation, but he did bring in Alan Wynn.
Melodo, a hurried pass to Rios. They swarm him. Rios, oh, neat back heel to Ropapa-Mensah. Skied it over. Clever, cunning idea from Daniel Rios. A lack of finishing touch from Mensah.
Good entry ball by Lebo. Nice little layoff. I think Ropapa's run was a little early, and so the ball was caught under him as Daniel played it back. But I do like the fact that at the beginning of this half, I bet Daniel Rios has touched the ball almost as many times as he did the entire first half.
Hoisted a pass into the path of Ropapa-Mensah. A no-nonsense clearance from Nathan Harriel. Hey fans, the USL revealed its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. 56-minute Coca-Cola corner kick for the man who leads the USL Eastern Conference in assists. It's Lebo Melodo standing over. Obvious targets include Daniel Rios and Ropapa-Mensah. It's curled in near post, embargoed by Cortez, and pushed out for a goal kick by Washington.
So by that ball heading into the near post from Lebo Melodo, he hit the first line of defense, which was an easy clearance. So that was knocked out to Taylor Washington, and the ball that came to him was not an easy ball to settle, and he had an onward streaking Bethlehem player. If that ball had been stripped right there, that's a counterattack left in a 2v1 situation. So the implementation of the final pass, meaning that corner kick, that first ball in that corner kick, that set piece, that cannot leave a Nashville defense wide open for a counterattack like it almost did right there, and Taylor Washington dealt with it pretty well, knocked it out of bounds. But that's very dangerous for Nashville in a game where they have 70% of the possession.
See the substitutes for Nashville warming up at the top of your screen. Obvious candidate to inject a little bit of creativity in the midfield would be Matt LaGrassa.
If he's healthy, game fit, maybe 15 minutes they'll get out of him tonight. We'll see.
Nashville with 2 substitutions remaining. Same story for Bethlehem. Brought down by Rios. Tribbett. Washington, the pasture in front of him. Crowded by Mensah. Ropapa. Launched by Zandy. Now it's Ken Tribbett to drive. Clanged off of Chambers. And Nashville will reload from the far side corner now. Well, the green light for Ken Tribbett. Player who started the flood of goals against Hartford on Wednesday night. Scored off of a corner kick on the same side of the field from the same corner. The man who provided the assist for that corner, Taylor Washington, has stepped over to take this Coca-Cola corner kick. It's hooked in by Washington. It falls for Akinyoti. Slammed off of Harriel, who's appealing for a throw-in.
Much better delivery by Taylor Washington on that ball.
It will be a throw for Nashville Soccer Club. Relatively comfortable night for Todd Morton, the 23-year-old, in just his second start after being purchased from Real Monarchs just a few weeks ago. Ropapa for Lebo. Now Tribbett. Akinyoti. Punch far for King. It's really responsible defending from Matt Rios.
Matt Rios had a solid game. He's had Belmar running at him, Ropapa, Wynn, Darnell King. He has had just pace after pace running at him, and he's been solid.
And Bethlehem set sail on a rapid counterattack. A slash to the sails from Jimmy Ockford defending.
The diagonal ball into Daniel Rios is on if Nashville gets their head up early enough.
At the hour mark, scoreless at First Tennessee Park. Melodo in tight quarters with Wynn.
There has been far more activity from Daniel Rios this half, just trying to find pockets of space to get the ball. You can see him sinking in the midfield a little bit deeper. Not too deep, but just enough to be able to get that ball at his feet to be able to create and then isolate. I think he's trying to pull some center backs out of spaces so that he can combine and then get in.
Well, fans, Nashville SC's next home game will be on Wednesday, August 21st at First Tennessee Park versus New York Red Bulls 2. Single game tickets available online at NashvilleSC.com. A huge month of August here for the boys in gold. They are still getting help from Birmingham, who leads 1-0 at Tampa Bay in stoppage time. Potential for Tampa Bay to fail to collect any points from their top of the table position, which they would lose if they cannot find a point against Birmingham. New York Red Bulls 2 would rise to the top. Melodo. Looking at a team picture of the Bethlehem defense. Inward goes King. Wynn. He's got a bag full of ideas. Dances around two defenders. Back in front, Rios! About a foot wide. And Nashville honing its sights after the hour mark.
Again, the creativity of Alan Wynn to face up and take on. He's committed 3 defenders, persistent in his attack. I like the fact that Daniel Rios is trying to redirect. He's got his toe up. He's trying to play it back into that back side. Definitely with intent. But a nice little combination play between Wynn and Rios. I think the game needs more of that. Bethlehem's dropped their line just a little bit defensively. They're not quite as compact in the midfield. Their back line isn't as tight. They're not just defending in the middle third.
Alan Wynn has combined with Melodo. It's Wynn charging his way through. Crushed away by Kinge. Melodo. Ropapa. Lebo Melodo! Flat-footed save from Todd Morton. That's 2 big knocks on the door from Nashville. And now you get the feeling Bethlehem trying to defuse a ticking time bomb.
Great little combination play. Lebo just didn't get a full strike on that ball.
How long can Bethlehem withstand this Nashville surge? It's Lebo Melodo with room to move. He's punched it through for Rios. Laying off Wynn. Wants to wait for Rios to recover, then turns him into a statue and earns the corner kick.
So Nashville's done a much better job with their speed of play. It's been much quicker than what it was in the first half. And what in essence is happening is they are now stretching the Bethlehem defense, and they're creating more space for themselves because Bethlehem is getting compromised in their shape, and their compact shape is not as compact as it was in the first half, which is a credit to Nashville and some of their dynamic movement off the ball. It's been much better.
The Coca-Cola corner kick in the 65th minute. Here it comes from Melodo. Last man is Akinyoti. Towards Jimmy Ockford. And again, right into the hands of a flat-footed Todd Morton. He's had to make a few saves in this second half. They've been pedestrian.
I like the little ball from Akinyoti right there. Nice little chipped ball into the head of Ockford. Ockford does a good job of finding it, but just doesn't get enough on it. And hits it right into the hands of Morton.
Well, fans, join us Saturday, August 17th for the official away match viewing party at Corner Pub downtown. Nashville will next travel to Charlotte. Another team lounging right around that playoff dividing line. Counting this match, Nashville, 8 of its last 12 matches to finish the season are at home.
Can we talk about Ferris for a minute? Look at the athleticism.
19 years old.
He's an absolute specimen. You know, it demands respect just when he stands out onto the field.
Daniel Rios has latched on. Mintza the only target. Midfielders arriving for the harvest. One back by Melodo. He's gone down. Gary Smith just to the right of your screen. You can see him screaming at Sergei Demianchuk. It would have been a set piece in an opportune area for Nashville. Not many complaints from Melodo. You can just see how gassed this team is. Their third game in the Southern Heat in 8 days. You can see how much this means to Gary Smith, knowing perhaps that his team has a major opportunity tonight to claw back points from top of the table Tampa Bay, who has officially fallen to Birmingham. 1-0. The Rowdies fall to Birmingham. That is the 5th straight clean sheet for Birmingham.
Birmingham's starting to find their stride at the right time of the season.
They still have to come here to First Tennessee Park. Ken Tribbett invited forward. An incisive pass to Mintza, crowded in the area. Rios' ball wide to Washington. Washington, that's a great looking cross! Saved by Morton, cleared off the line! An acrobatic clearance from Walter Cortez to keep it scoreless. Nashville reloads again. Spectacular from Cortez and Morton. It's Melodo for Daniel Rios. The defender slipped. And Rios commits the foul.
So Cortez was injured on that clearance off the line, and now he's down.
So there's the man that cleared the ball off the line. Let's take a look at the flurry that resulted in his injury and nearly resulted in the first goal of the night. It's a header from Melodo.
Look at all the yellow players wide open. Great save.
Oh, it's off the crossbar as well, I believe.
Oh, absolutely phenomenal sequence of events. Taylor Washington faced up in great 1-versus-1 situations, served a good ball into where the numbers were. Lebo Melodo got up high, did a great job of heading it down to the far post. Morton makes a fantastic save. It's still possibly going in. Cortez does a bicycle kick off the crossbar to save the goal.
Walter Cortez on loan from Saprissa, which is the top team in Costa Rica. On the radar of the Ticos, the Costa Rican national team. He's played 6 games for his country at the U20 level. Bethlehem has been rather toothless in this half.
So you
There's
have
a foul call gone against Nashville here. Yes.
Tribbett again. So you have to wonder how long Bethlehem can continue to hold on, because Nashville is obviously starting to throw numbers at them, and they've been much more effective in getting more looks on frame. But at the same time, if you're Nashville, you're starting to get a little worried that you haven't found the back of the net and it's the 70th minute. You know, you've got to convert those chances.
Sent down for Zandy. Rios cleared out for a corner kick, and Killian was pushed in the back. Will be a corner for Bethlehem. A team whose game plan was doused in a defensive mindset will bring on an attacking player in Axel Picanzo, an exciting young prospect. Grew up in Mexico City but moved to Austin, Texas, so he's eligible to represent both Mexico and the United States at the international level, who will replace Shivani Willis, player who made his debut against Nashville in June and has played 9 games since then. Can Brendan Burke and his team engineer at least a point here at First Tennessee Park, or seek out more here? There are rare possessions in the attacking third in this second half. Overlapping is Chambers. Back to defend is Daniel Rios of Nashville. Player who was willing to do all of the dirty work, along with score his USL Eastern Conference high, and USL high 15 goals, tied with Solomon Asante in that category. Asante about to kick off versus El Paso. Here's Rayon. Oh, it's headed down right to a Bethlehem player, and it was Anthony Fontana.
Very fortunate for Nashville.
One of the few constellation of passes for Bethlehem in this half. Rebounds out to Rayon, lining up a drive. Pickens had his near post covered. Interestingly enough, Bethlehem has had more success on the road this season than they do at home. 3 clean sheets in 9 road matches. No clean sheets in their 13 home games. 4 of their 6 wins this season have come away from Pennsylvania. Here's Mensah, pressured by Harriel. Rios the lone target in the penalty area. Washington has stayed onside. It's a flopped cross over the head of Rios. Rebounds out to Darnell King. Tribbett. Washington. Cross going, back post, Meloto crashing in. Brought down by Tribbett. Smashed to safety by Zandy. Pressure increases. We'll again explore and prod away on this left side. Washington's cross at the top of the 18-yard box by Cortez. King. Wide is Win. Tribbett with options. Washington calibrating his cross. It knuckles in. Roadblocked by Harriel. Retrieved by King. And sent backwards to Ockford. Meloto. Wynn is tucked into a soft spot. Back for Meloto. Clairvoyant defending from Cortez. Nashville with Bethlehem pinned back. They fidget with the lock again. Washington. Tribbett. Wynn. Patient, intricate build-up. Wynn's got to be careful here. He's turned it over in a tricky position, and he's won it back off the feet of Ferris.
Well, you kind of have to, don't you? If you lose the ball in the open field, and then your job really is to immediately chase and put pressure on that ball.
Ferris, a player who had missed the last 2 games with a hamstring injury, came in as questionable tonight and entered at the beginning of the second half. Now going to need medical assistance. And as always, medical assistance at First Tennessee Park, provided by Vanderbilt Health. And during the break, gives us time to take your vote for today's Budweiser Man-of-the-Match. Find the poll at the official Nashville SC Twitter account at Nashville SC. Ronnie, I'll ask for your vote, but I'm getting the feeling that perhaps there might be a swing in the votes if somebody can go ahead here. There's a man who won the Budweiser Man-of-the-Match last time, number 17, Michael Reed, written on the captain's armband of Forrest Lasso.
You got to believe that Forrest Lasso did that and put it on the captain's armband himself, and what a great tribute that is to him.
It's his way of admitting that Michael Reed is the true captain of this club.
All class, absolute class move by Lasso. Very impressive. I'm sure that moment right there is being met by Michael Reed with much appreciation too. So my vote right now, which could change, is Matt Pickens. At this point in the match, that save he made in the first half and just him overall being consistent and being the leader that he is, that's my vote right now. It could be swayed.
Darnell King with room to roam. Now Wynn. King. Bethlehem with all 11 behind the ball. Nashville searching for an incision point. The cross is curled in towards Rios. And repelled out by Steve Kingay. Nashville run out of power in this compact, condensed schedule of theirs that they have roared through. 4 straight wins.
Well, let's be honest, they really can't. They can't afford to. They can't drop 2 points on this game and get out of here with a draw. You know, they have to find a way.
Darnell King takes it back from Meloto. King again. And Ferris, the lone forward, up high.
You know, John, there's must-win games, and then there's taking a point on the road, and this is a must-needed game.
Meloto's cross towards Mensah, and Morton has to tip it over the crossbar. That was more difficult than it looked at first sight.
And Daniel Rios was right there lingering. It's a good, solid save. Morton had good footwork, but most definitely he was forced to have to put that over and concede a corner kick because that was going to sneak in that goal if he hadn't done it. Great footwork by Morton to be able to cover that space.
Corner kick comes in from Meloto. As far as Washington. He's put that into a dangerous spot right to the feet of Fontana. Wynn all alone on the far side. Lasso still loitering with intent in the 18. Center back Lasso calling for the service. It's sent back post towards Lasso. And 2 Bethlehem defenders, Harriel and Rayon, having to combine to defend the 6'6" Lasso. Nashville's brought 2 players over for the Coca-Cola corner kick in the 80th minute. Comes in from Washington. Over the head of backpedaling Ockford. Secured by Akinyoti. He's pressured by Rios. Alan Wynn maneuvering forward. It's brought down by Fontana. And a set piece in an opportune place for Nashville SC. Ensures another opportunity to pepper the penalty area.
Nashville really needs to execute on one of these set pieces. Too many opportunities where they've outsized the defense to not be rewarded with a goal.
Plenty of size in the area for Nashville SC. It's congestion right around the penalty spot, and Sergei Demianchuk again has to play mediator between Ken Tribbett and Walter Cortez.
And that's why, right there.
Comes the free kick from Melodo. To a great area met by Lasso. And where was that going? Clinged off of a defender. Go ahead and send it down to the sidelines. Our Kelly Glendenning is down on the field. What do you have for us, Kelly?
So out of all the players still warming up down here on the sideline, Kosuke Kimura is the only one who has his gold jersey on under that pink penny, and he is still remaining to do drills right here along the sideline. So safe assumption he might be the next one that we see in for Nashville.
Kimura known to be able to get up the field even as a wing back and provide precision passing from the far, or from this case, it'll probably be for Taylor Washington to the near side. Or maybe Darnell King. Can Nashville find its way through? They've knocked on the door all second half.
Sloppy. A little bit sloppy by Nashville right now. Got to keep their composure, get that crisp passing back in.
Minta and Washington on this near flank. It's Zandy now. Ferris calling for it. Immediately swarmed by Tribbett.
The quality of defending from Bethlehem has been textbook. They've done a great job of managing Daniel Rios. They've done a fantastic job managing the size differential on set pieces. They've kept their shape and their patience. Really created problems for Nashville.
Akinyoti. Nashville, it's tank on empty. Their foot mashed to the gas pedal. Can they find a moment of magic? Darnell King's cross repelled out of bounds for another Coca-Cola corner kick. This is all happening in front of tonight's Ashton Real Estate attendance, 7,762.
And what an environment it's been tonight. the supporters have not missed a beat. Screaming, yelling. We can barely hear ourselves up here in the box because they are giving so much energy onto that field.
The cross comes in. Rios was closest. Recovered by Allen Wynn, and they'll reload with Melodo. Gets it back onto his left foot. Sending it towards Ockford, headed down by Lasso.
Second ball in by Lebo. Just grazed off the top of Forrest Lasso's head. In a good position. He'd like to have that one back, I think.
Take a look in the second half. It has been all Nashville. They have not found a way past Todd Morton. Also Walter Cortez, don't forget. The twisting, acrobatic bicycle kick off the goal line to keep this deadlock intact. Lasso forwarded by Mensah. Takes it back from Rios. This is neatly done by Nashville. Now Melodo wide for Allen Wynn. Wynn onto his left. Still Allen Wynn. Off of Washington and kept in play by Issa Rayon. Well, the fans have voted tonight's Budweiser Man-of-the-Match, voted on by you. It is Matt Pickens, who's been merely a spectator here in this second half. And the fans emptying their lungs, trying to will this team forward. Melodo. Washington again. Quality defending from Rayon. Poked out by Lasso. Recollected by Akinyoti. 88th minute. Allen Wynn. Can he provide the spark? He's gone around his defender, put it into a good spot. And it's Harriel first to it.
Oh, I love the fact that Allen Wynn faced up and took that final touch to the end line and tried to drive that ball back across the green to an attacking player for Nashville.
Nashville going to make 2 substitutions. But first, the Coca-Cola corner kick. It's Lebo Melodo. Kinturbit headed down. Was that off of a hand? It's cleared off the line. Nashville players not complaining much, and they've got to get back into Finn as Bethlehem is broken out into a counterattack led by Ferris. He's connected with Axel Picasso. A lung-busting run, and Picasso is going to go alone. And he has tackled Allen Wynn. Let's take a look at this replay. From our perspective, it looked like it may have gone off a defender's hand. They've shown the replay on the board. The supporters certainly didn't appreciate it. If anything, nope.
No.
Certainly not.
No, definitely not. Clean.
That's Rayon.
Excellent. Again, excellent defending by Bethlehem.
And it's Tucker Hume who will replace Darnell King. He is simply just a massive target to aim at.
And there's your 3-5-2. We've gone into a 3-back because they took off Darnell King and added an attacking player in.
Nashville can't get too carried away with these advances as Bethlehem still with plenty of bites. It's Ferris, Picasso, and now Rayon. Can Bethlehem nick it late here? Rayon needing emergency defending from Taylor Washington. And it's a Coca-Cola corner kick for Bethlehem, which they will take their sweet time to put back into play. Matt LaGrassa has also been brought in, and he will replace Bolu Akinyodi.
Good to see him back on the field.
Nashville out of substitutes. Just seconds away from stoppage time. Zach Zandy using clock to take this corner kick. Floated towards Lasso. As far as Chambers. Into stoppage time we go. The question is how much? The answer is 3 minutes.
At this
Here,
point,
Brendan
not
Burke
enough.
screaming from the sideline saying, do the work to his team. Just 3 minutes of stoppage time.
It seems a little light for the stoppage time for the number of injuries that they had in the second half of this game.
How many more chances will Nashville Soccer Club get? LaGrassa, win for LaGrassa. Cuts it back on the floor. The assistant referee had the best look at it. Was reluctant to raise the flag. Rayon. Thumped to safety by Hariel.
Anything to tick-tock away for Bethlehem right now. The clock's their friend. Anytime they can step on the ball, play a ball wide into a space, hold up play. Point on the road is a win for them.
Rios is back to the target. Allen Wynn inherits towards Tucker Hume. He's won it back. Still Tucker Hume. Awkwardly in the 18. He's able to win a throw-in for Nashville. He's just a handful. 6'5". Into the final minute of stoppage time. Hurled in by LaGrassa. Into a good area, Rios. Now Taylor Washington. Punched by Jimmy Ockford. Save and catch by Morton.
Jimmy Ockford just trying to keep the ball alive, I think. But the quality of that getting on frame. And a credit to Morton for paying attention.
Ferris has been whistled for a foul and should surely get a yellow card here for taking the ball away. Matt Pickens wants to get this back into play. No yellow card for Ferris. One last desperate thrust forward for Nashville SC. Rios, is he the antidote to this stalemate? Win. Oh, he's been brought down, and now Nashville a chance to heave numbers forward on surely the last opportunity of the match. James Chambers has been booked. His 8th yellow card this season, and now everyone can flood forward to try and salvage a victory tonight. The only defender back is Taylor Washington. The man standing over is Lebo Maloto, who leads the USL Eastern Conference in assists. This is it. Comes in from Maloto. Headed down, banged away by Ferris, and game over. Bethlehem. They talked extensively during the week about wanting a point tonight and staying compact. A little dust up at the ends, and they have gotten their points. Now a little bit of bad blood spilling over as Walter Cortez being involved with Taylor Washington. It was Cortez, 47 there in blue. That is one of the reasons for this 0-0 draw. That goal line clearance in this second half to rob Nashville of what would have been a go-ahead goal. And that is it. Nashville gets a point tonight. But Ronnie, they miss a golden opportunity to take points from Tampa Bay, who fell to Birmingham. They do keep the clean sheet streak intact. 5 straight games without conceding a goal. Did you expect a 0-0 tonight, though?
Honestly, I did not. And even as the second half unfolded, about halfway through, I thought it's just a matter of time until Nashville finds the back of the net. But then the coach in me got in, and you get to that point where you're like, wow, this may not be their night. And you start to think, you know, are they going to be able to find the back of the net? Because Bethlehem, a true credit to their defensive presence that they had tonight. They were compact, as they talked about in their game plan. They defended with good numbers behind the ball. They were very, very organized and disciplined in their defense. And then to deal with the set pieces and the high number of set pieces that they had to deal with from Nashville is just outstanding.
Still much more to unpack here from First Tennessee Park. We'll also take a look at the highlight that features that man, Walter Cortez. Probably the play of the game with the goal line clearance. We'll take a look at it. And first, we'd like to thank our corporate partners, Nissan, Vanderbilt Health, Dex Imaging, Budweiser, Puckett's, Kroger, Coca-Cola, MyTV30, and Fox 17. Back from Middle Tennessee for these ones. A 5th straight clean sheet for Matt Pickens. The only difference between tonight and the other 4 that came before it is Nashville couldn't get on the board. 0-0, our final tonight at First Tennessee Park. Nashville had their chances in the second half. We'll take a look at the stats in a few moments. Could not break the door down against Bethlehem Steel. they did gain a point tonight over Tampa Bay as the Rowdies fell 1-0 at home to Birmingham. Also, Memphis and North Carolina tied at 1. So a night where Nashville could have climbed farther up the table, gotten closer to Tampa Bay. They did so, but only with just 1 point. And then they also gave up 2 points today to to New York Red Bulls, too, who were able to win on the road at Hartford. I'm John Freeman, joined by Ronnie Wood. Let's go ahead and take a look at our save of the game. It came from that man, Matt Pickens. He didn't have a very busy second half, but he was called into action once in the first half and made a spectacular denial of Zach Zandy of the Bethlehem Steel. Here's the look.
Such a great save. Zandy did a great individual effort, just not enough defensive pressure, but top hand save, tapped it right over the bar, and that was early in the match. He came flying out. You know, this easily, if Matt Pickens had not made this save, Nashville's down 1-0 in early minutes this game, and it's an entire different environment that you're looking at. So stellar, absolutely outstanding save by Matt Pickens.
Yeah, while Pickens did make that save, you do have to take your hat off to the goalkeeper, Todd Morton, tonight for Bethlehem. Had 8 saves in goal for Bethlehem. One of the major reasons why they were able to hold Nashville scoreless and get 1 point, a very crucial point as they continue to hunt for playoff position. Let's go ahead and take a look at our stats in this one. The second half was a wild one. Nashville, attack after attack, repelled over and over by Bethlehem, almost doubling up, if not more, in every single category, yet somehow couldn't find a way through. Why is it that they couldn't find a way through? And then also, tell me what Bethlehem did so well to keep Nashville off the board.
Well, a disappointing night finishing for Nashville. I thought their final ball left a little to be desired, and then I thought that their final execution and the quality of the finishing that they put on frame. I think part of it could have been a little fatigue motivated. Some of the balls were under hit that were one bouncing or just not accurately struck with enough pace, and that could be a fatigue factor, 3 games in 7 days. But what did Bethlehem do well? They were very, very staunch defensively. They were stingy, they worked hard, they stayed compact, and Morton was solid in goal. He made the saves he was supposed to, he organized his box, and he took control of that back line, and that's a true credit to Bethlehem. Bethlehem earned a point tonight. Nashville lost 2, I think, if you're really breaking down the game.
Yeah, 14 of those 19 shots for Nashville came in the second half. Go ahead and take a look around the league. This is a live table. North Carolina actually still in action right now, tied 1-1 with Memphis. Brandon Allen goal actually put Memphis ahead. It was canceled out later in the game by North Carolina FC. Nashville still above Indy 11, but a major missed opportunity because Indy 11's got a few games in hand. Tampa Bay drops points tonight. They drop all 3. They lose to Birmingham, and then Red Bulls in a rout on the road at Hartford in midday action. So they still gain a point. They still get a little distance from that North Carolina, Louisville, Ottawa. But really, when you look back at this one, the words that come to mind is missed opportunity.
Yeah, it's not doomsday by any stretch of the imagination. They pull a point out of it. They're still sitting top 3 of the table. There's still a lot of the season left. There's no issues moving forward, except for the fact that you leave the field looking at the stats, having watched the game, and it just doesn't feel like they did enough to get the result tonight.
Yeah, too, when you look at the standings, all the teams that, or some of the teams that are in those, I mean, you look at Red Bulls, you look at Charleston, you look at Birmingham, those are all teams that come here. North Carolina at the tail end of the season. Nashville's got a lot of home games ahead of it, and just a point tonight, but still positioned well, and still unbeaten through 5, still have not conceded through 5 straight games, and there's 2 of the reasons why. Forrest Lasso and Jimmy Ockford. It can be hard to put Nashville out of the playoffs once they get there if they continue to perform this way.
Well, they've been rock solid in the center of the back. Both of them made difficult defensive strategies and difficult plays look simple tonight. And I think that we're watching a chemistry being formed between Ockford, Lasso, and Pickens. 5 straight with not conceding a goal, and it's just been steady. Now they've got to work on the other side of it, right? They're going to have to solve the issue of missing Michael Reed. They're going to have to get LaGrassa back into that lineup, get that mobility back in as their number 8 running in the center of the midfield, and then see what's going to happen. And Tribbett and Bolu did a great job today, but there just needs to be more depth. You know, Nashville is a little bit thin due to some injuries that are on the roster, and they need to get them healthy and get them active again so they have a lot more weapons.
And the first step is everybody just take a deep breath and take a rest. Much deserved for the players. 3 games in an 8-day span. And not only 3 games in 8 days, 3 games in the hot, humid American South, where it was 90 degrees today. And they persevered through it, and they get their 5th straight clean sheets. Let's say a big thank you to everybody involved in our broadcast tonight. For Ronnie Woodard, I'm John Freeman saying so long from First Tennessee Park. Nashville SC unbeaten in 5 straight matches, 5 straight clean sheets, over 400 minutes of playing time elapsed without conceding a goal. They knocked on the door this evening. They could not break it down against a resolute and defiant and spectacular, in some cases, Bethlehem Steel team. Nevertheless, Nashville and Bethlehem split the spoils, a point apiece tonight from Tennessee. Thank you so much for watching.
Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.